Todd, I would think for the most part you're pretty happy with that. A little bit of a slow start, but aside from that and aside from not kicking straight in the last quarter, I think you would have liked most of what you saw.
Yeah, look, I think we continued probably the vein. Round one were pretty average, round two a bit better for a half. I thought we were pretty good today for the most part, a bit fumbly early, and then didn't convert. Dominated the early part of the last quarter and just didn't convert, and then a couple of men down, we got a bit tired, but kept inviting them sort of to stay in the game. So, but we'll certainly take it, and we thought we got better, so that's something to hang our hat on.
Yeah, I think the style of footy you played was a lot closer to the way you want to play, especially probably the second half of the first quarter. Then for much of the second and third quarters, that's probably the type of footy you want to see the team playing.
Yeah, and look, there's no doubt there's going to be ups and downs and challenges just because there's so many new personnel. So a lot of guys haven't played much footy, and there's a few that obviously have played a bit of footy, but not with us. So that connection and synergy of playing together with the same group of guys is going to build. So we think the longer the season goes, that will improve. But we want to get better quickly. We're all impatient, but we want to tick off some wins along the way while we continue to improve. But look, we've got some young guys, which is exciting.
One of those, Dion Munkara, who you brought down from the Northern Territory, he was pretty exciting. He had that purple patch in the first half, but he worked hard last week too. It showed some good signs, and to get some reward on the scoreboard today was great for him. Yeah,
look, I thought last week he really fumbled and bumbled. He was pretty nervous, I think. But his strength is his touch and use of the ball and decision making. So you probably saw a bit of that today. But he's still obviously learning. A different brand of footy here than what he's used to. So he was better again today, and I think the more he plays, the better he'll get. That can be said for Spooner and Dent, Haiden. There's a lot of guys that haven't played much footy out there. Verrier hasn't played much footy in the last sort of 18 months. Jake Florenca playing inside mid was really good. Dragovich, Pearson, Noah Strom, you forget they only played sort of 20 games. So exciting for us.
You mentioned Brendan Verrier. It's a great story because he missed pretty much all of last year with his concussion troubles, but he played round one in the reserves and got through that, and now he's come back in the last 2 weeks and looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah, and look, just such a popular and fantastic person, real bulldog person, and would have been easy with all the challenges he's had probably to not play. But he's worked really hard, tried a lot of different things, and finally there's been light at the end of the tunnel for him. So it's great to see him run around with a smile on his face and play footies with his mates.
Dragovich as well. He's been around for a little while now, and he's still very young, but he's played a fair bit of senior footy now. And he's one guy with the guys you lost. You probably needed to step up, and especially the last 2 weeks, that's probably close to the best 2 games that he's played of league footy.
Yeah, and look, probably the only real opportunity to get better for both him and the Florencas and these sort of guys is opportunity. So they didn't get much opportunity to play inside mid, but with obviously Hockey and Cook and Marlon, Dylan came back today, but there's been a bit of opportunity, and they've relished that. So that's more depth for us, and more competition for spots.
Haiden Schloithe, sometimes he looks like he plays better when he's got someone paying close attention to him. I think Rasmussen ran with him for most of the day today, and sometimes he plays better in that circumstances. He was probably best on ground today, and that was despite having a pretty close tag.
Yeah, look, I thought obviously we've had some experience go out, so it's important that the ones that are here play well. He played really well today, I thought, hung in. Whenever the game needed a bit of class, I thought he stood up. But I thought our strength for us today was, I thought, we're pretty even. If you go through it's not all about stats, but you go through the stats of the game, most blokes weighed in and did their bit, and when that happens, it was important today. McIntosh getting hurt early and a few other challenges throughout the day, so some boys needed to step up, and thankfully they did enough to get us through.
It's been a massive start to the year for Brock Higgins as well. He was clearly the best big man on the ground again today, and he has been for the first 3 weeks.
Oh, look, he was very good for us. You'd expect him to be. They really went in with no recognised ruckman, so you would expect him to have an influence, and he did. I thought his second efforts stuff was good, and also pushed forward and caught the ball for us, which which is also good for us. But yeah, look, he was very good. But we'd be probably disappointed if we didn't win that area with, them not having a ruckman.
Adam McIntosh, what do you know about his shoulder? And Nick Subin looked pretty sore in the second half too.
Yeah, I don't know. Really, won't know much about Adam. He copped a knock to the back of his shoulder, so he's pretty sore. Sub's just tightened up, went out. Thought he could probably get through, but no risk. We really don't want to lose him, so he feels pretty good after the game. So I think he'll be fine. What
about Marlon? Is he getting closer for next week?
Yeah, so he's sort of back training. So if he's not this week, it'll be the week after. So he'll be pretty handy.
Derbies across that Anzac break are always a big game. You'd expect East Fremantle to throw everything at you when they're looking for that first win of the year for them.
Yeah, no doubt. And they're pretty good. They competed obviously pretty well against Peel. Probably should have won the game. So they've got some class come back into their team. Got some dangerous forwards, and look like they competed pretty well. So Derby's a rise, a scrap, and this one will be no doubt the same, I would say. Good luck. Thank you.